What is up, guys? Rickackis here, continuing my series on the missing gun combinations in Destiny. Now, I've done Haka Scout Rifles, Omalon Auto Rifles, and Omalon Shotguns, but today we're focusing on Suros Shotguns. Now, although Suros Shotguns are technically in the game, there's some Year 1 shotguns with Suros in the name even. When foundries were introduced within the Taken King, Suros Shotguns never really got their fair shake. There wasn't really a differentiated Suros combination in terms of shotguns like there were with Suros Auto Rifles, for example. Additionally, a lot of things Bungie said about foundries were simply untrue. They didn't differentiate the loot system as much as they could have. A Suros auto rifle really isn't that different from a Haka auto rifle, the real only difference being the appearance and the perk layout. With one exception. Haka pulse rifles shoot in bursts of 4, and to accomplish this, they have different damage profiles. Anyone who's played Destiny knows that using a Haka pulse rifle feels different. It's a different gameplay experience when compared to using traditional 3-round burst pulse rifles in the game. This is what I will be trying to achieve with Suros Shotguns, a differentiated new gun combination that will breathe life into the Destiny gun system. Adding a small chunk of PvP or PvE content isn't going to be how to fix Destiny. It'll get stale in a few weeks from being overplayed because it's the only new thing we've gotten in so long. Revamping the gun system and adding new content through that might be the way to fix Destiny. It'll retrospectively make everything new again. Playing the same raid is boring. Playing the same raid with a different weapon is a different experience altogether. That's why the key to fixing Destiny lies within the loot system. And even if Destiny has been abandoned with your help, these ideas will make it into Destiny 2. Now, with that out of the way, let's get started on the idea. What would Suros Shotguns look like as a differentiated new gun combination in Destiny? Well, in the Omalon shotgun videos, I actually speculated about making a combination of shotguns that have a wider hip spread than normal. In fact, all the shotguns in the entire game have the same, radius of the circle you see on your screen when you're hip firing, and the same spread when you aim down sights as well. So there isn't any differentiation between the shotguns in that aspect, and I feel like that aspect can be, manipulated to add some different variety within the game. And again, Omalon shotguns would be the blunderbusses of the game, the wide hip spreading, like most damaging, but you have to be as close as possible shotgun combinations. So let's make Suros Shotguns the opposite. I'm sure a lot of you are familiar with Call of Duty Black Ops 3, and in that game, the shotguns have a very interesting mechanic. Yes, you can hipfire them, but if you take the extra time to aim down sights, the spread of the shotguns will decrease dramatically. This factor actually does add an interesting gameplay element. Do I take the time to potentially die aiming down sights to ensure my accuracy and try to get the most accurate, most clustered shot as possible with my shotgun? Or do I just hipfire? Do I shoot as quickly as possible as soon as I see my opponent? And different situations in the game, how close the opponent is, if they're weakened already, there'll be a different answer to those questions. And that's something that would be interesting to add into Destiny with Suros Shotguns. I would like Suros Shotguns to be able to aim down sights, and let's say the aim down sights time for these guns would be slower than usual, but if you were to aim down sights with a Suros Shotgun, you would have a dramatic increase to the accuracy of your spread. As a result, a Suros Shotgun, when compared to a normal shotgun, will kill at a tiny bit further range. Now, I don't want you guys to get worried. I'm only talking about 1 or 2 extra feet of kill distance. And remember, making these guns very accurate when you aim down sights is going to mean that you have to be accurate in order to get the kill. No longer can you just shoot beside someone with a shotgun in Destiny and they end up dying. You're actually going to have to be a talented player and really land your shots. In addition, like I've said, taking the extra time to aim down sights the other player could just close the gap and kill you with his traditional shotgun. It's going to be a very high risk, high reward thing to utilize a Suros shotgun in the game. Now, if you're having some trouble imagining what a Suros shotgun might look like in Destiny, you don't have to imagine any longer. Here's some awesome concept art done by Benjamin Ratterman. I'll link him down in the description below. He's doing my concept art for me for the continuation of this series. He's also come up with his own ideas for how this gun would behave in-game. So we've discussed how Suros shotguns might behave in Destiny, and we've gone over what they might look like, but let's go an extra step further. When Bungie originally introduced foundries, they had a lot of great concepts behind each foundry. One of those concepts behind Suros as a foundry was customization. You can change your gun on the go. Now, in the game that really didn't pan out. It turns out that no one gave a shit about Casket Mag over an increased stability. So my idea now with the Suros shotguns to actually incorporate that idea of customization is to have some unique perks that these shotguns can also spawn with. Let's have a perk where you can actually increase the damage at the expense, massive expense, of a huge chunk off your rate of fire. Now, this will be great for PvP. It'll extend the range by, about 1 foot more, but you're going to be shooting incredibly slow. If you miss, it'll be a death sentence. But in the extremely competitive cutthroat scene of Trials of Osiris, a very skill-intensive, high-rewarding weapon like this could be exactly what people are looking for. On the flip side, I would also love to see a perk that actually reduced the damage, but massively increased the fire rate. Now, when in Destiny would you actually want to reduce the damage per shot in favor of increasing the damage per second? Actually, this thing called PvE. And I know Bungie has kind of forgotten about it, but a lot of us play PvE content. Being able to lower the damage by a little bit, but increase the fire rate dramatically, therefore improving your damage output, which is really important when everything takes multiple shots, like in PvE, would actually be a really awesome concept. Let's say that even these shotguns can spawn with both of the perks I've outlined. So if you have a Suros shotgun and it has both of these unique perks, you might actually be able to switch in between them. If you're doing PvE content, if you're doing, a Nightfall or a Heroic Strike, you're going to want to put the perk that increases your damage output. But if you're doing the Iron Banner, you're going to want the other perk. You're going to want to change the behavior of your Suros shotgun to complement the activity that you're doing. That is the spirit of the Suros Foundry, or at least what it was intended to be. Now, I just want to say that, throughout this idea, I went over some slightly worrying concepts, especially for PvP players. Stuff like increasing damage, stuff like a slightly higher range. And I know some of you are going to want to say, this sounds overpowered, but honestly, that shouldn't even be discussed. The ship is sinking and we're worried about getting water on the carpets. There's bigger things at hand. Frankly, I just want to see this stuff introduced. If it's overpowered and we just nerf it. Increase the aim down sights time, increase the hipfire spread, lower the damage by a little bit, who cares? We can simply address these hypothetical issues as they arise. So we've got the idea for what Suros shotguns would be, what differentiates them from other shotguns, how they hold true to their foundry, and even what they look like. So all we need now is for Bungie to get off their asses and implement this. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you have your own idea for what Suros shotguns would be, or any other missing gun combinations, I'd love to hear it in the comment section below. Now, if you did enjoy this video, please remember to rate and share this video. It really helps me out, and it might get this actually implemented. And if you want to see more Destiny content down the line, don't be afraid to slap that subscribe button. Now, if you want to get in touch with me and keep up to date with the latest channel activity, the best way is to follow me on Twitter. That's linked in the description down below, as is my Twitch channel, which you can follow as well. Now, again, I hope you enjoyed the video, and as always, have a good day.